Hi, I'm Rick Sessinghaus. Performance equals results. We can all agree upon that, right? Is what I'm doing in the moment, that action, performing, leads to a result. Yet many people don't understand that their environment that they're performing in is going to have an effect on their results. So working with competitive golfers, for instance, I'll get a player who plays well on one type of golf course, but not another type of golf course. Well, the environment changed, or they played with a different grouping of players, which played slow and they had a temper, and that affected their performance, even though the game of golf didn't change and a shot-by-shot basis did not change, but unfortunately the environment affected them. In the business world, we see the environment of, let's say, our desk and who we share an office with, and is it an open floor plan where people can just come on in and talk to you. Well, that environment is going to be potentially distracting. It's going to affect how we're going to perform and thus our success rate. So I want you to start to look at what is surrounding you in the physical world first, right? In the business world, it could be your actual desk, right? Is it messy? You have to find things. Is it noisy? Is the lighting bad? That environment is going to affect how you perform. Now, there's some things that are maybe out of your control in your environment, would be the people you work with, right? Your clients, those type of things, where their responses, their world now interferes with your world. And I say interferes because in performance, you usually want to kind of keep yourself in a bubble and be able to focus on what you want. So when we look at the physical world, okay, we can then look at relationships. That's part of your environment. And so now the other thing though is there any internal in your environment? And what I mean by that is, are you choosing to put things in your environment that don't need to be? So for instance, I don't watch the news anymore because the news would either get me frustrated or depressed. Well, that changed how I performed. Also, social media. I don't like political posts, so they're off of my feed now because that would get me agitated. And so when you look at your environment of what are you looking at, what are you listening to, all those type of things is going to impact your performance. So start taking a little bit more control over what you actually are reading and what you're looking at and what you're listening to. But also is that how do you get affected by so many things, right? Is that I can't work in this environment anymore. It's like, whoa, you could if we had now different skill sets. And that's the part of the environment, is that people want to blame their environment, but what can you control about it first? Make those changes, but then it's going to be your response to that environment that ultimately is going to lead to your success. So let's start removing some of the negative effects on us and start to replace that with some positive things. And you're going to start to see that the environment now can actually be a positive instead of negative. So let's look at our environment as a key tool for you to perform for success.